Here we have some word problems, and these word problems are going to require us to do some multiplication of decimals and whole numbers. And I'll show you how to do that. Let's read the problem first. It says Dan worked 4.9 hours each of the last 6 days. How many hours did he work in all? So, there are 6 days. Let's maybe represent that on a calendar. 4, 5, 6. And on each of those days worked exactly the same amount, 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, and 4.9. And so we're going to solve this by multiplying 4.9 times 6. Of course, you could add 4.9 6 times. That would be the same thing as multiplying by 6, but I think the multiplying by 6 is just a little bit easier. So when we set this up, even though 4.9 is really a smaller number than 6, we put it on the top because it has more digits, and we put the 6 on the bottom. And when you're multiplying with decimals, at first you can just ignore the decimal point. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to ignore it. So let's start multiplying. 6 times 9, let's see, that's 54. So we put the 4 down and carry the 5. And 6 times 4 is 24, plus 5 is 29. Okay, so we got 294 down on the bottom. Now we have to pay attention to the decimal point. And what we do is we just count the number of digits that are behind the decimal point in either of these numbers. There's only one, there's only this 9. So in our answer, we have to put only 1 behind the decimal point. So the total time worked was 29.4 hours. Let's try one more. So this one says, suppose a bag of sugar weighs 7.6 kilograms. How much do 4 bags of sugar weigh? So again, we got a bag of sugar, a bag of sugar, a bag of sugar, and a bag of sugar, and they all weigh 7.6. So it should make some intuitive sense that you would multiply 7.6 times 4. So let's go ahead and set that up. We're going to put the 7.6 on top because it's got more digits. And then we're going to ignore the decimal point for the time being and just do the multiplication. So 4 times 6 is 24. And so I put the 4 down, carried the 2. 4 times 7 is 28, 29, 30 when we add the 2. So 304, and then we've got 1 digit behind the decimal point. So 30.4 altogether. And let's just look back and see if that makes sense. I mean, we have, close to 8 kilograms of sugar in each bag. 8 times 4 would be 32. We know this is going to be a little bit less than that because the bags are a little bit less than 8, and 30.4 a little bit less than 32. It checks out. So that's a little bit of work with word problems where you're multiplying decimals.